Hi, Mike.
Hello.
We'll call the meeting back to order. All right, hop on in here, bud.
He's wanting to do what though?
He's replacing the existing water line. He's just giving me a heads up what's
Thank you.
gonna be going on with the property. But there's already an existing water line there that they're replacing.
The city's gonna replace.
No, the car wash.
They have to replace that entire line.
That's what they're doing.
Oh, dear, we'll be right with you.
That's fine.
Your budget looks good
And there's still 24,000 to come out of that for the
for the
chemical
chemical you
purchase.
just ordered last.
Yes,
You're still looking good.
That's out of the 70?
yes.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Give or take 46,000, 47,000. So, okay.
The two big things is the well has quit down at the new building. The pump's apparently locked up, which I had high hopes because it ran and then we had a leak and shut it off and now it will not turn back on. So I had Heartland come down. We thought maybe it was electrical, but it is something in the hole with the pump itself. Nobody in the county does those anymore.
Yeah,
Does-
you can call that old boy out of
Yeah, Ray Prentice.
Yeah.
I did, and he said the pumps run anywhere from 1270 to 1377, and with mileage and labor, he thought the whole thing would be less than $2,000 to do. They're our closest. I mean, there's Shoals and some other places in Burlington. But
And that's one of them, we got no choice, right?
right, yeah, we'll have to have water at some point down there.
Okay.
Ray's a nice guy. I've dealt a little with him and you want a motion to go ahead and do that, or
Probably.
I move that we contact Ray Prentice and see if he can work on the well.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. What does he call his business?
I think it's Freedom Water Well.
It's been moved and seconded to have Freedom Water Well replace the submersible pump down at the new property. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And not to exceed 2,000, I'm sorry. Aye.
I didn't know, I did get some door bids, but I don't know if we need to advertise for that or what we need to do.
Don't give me an actual, but
Okay,
is it over, oh, it's a 5? Anything over 1,500, we're gonna
Yes.
advertise. So.
okay. We'll have to go ahead and advertise for that then.
Building looked good yesterday.
Thank you. We've been doing a lot of work down there and have all the stickers pushed in a pile to burn whenever we get moisture, unless Dan wants me to drop a match in it today.
It's your problem, I take it.
I have a feeling you didn't get all the stickers in a file.
I'm sure I didn't, but I spent about 3 hours down there with the skid steer working on it and reclaimed a lot of the rock and stuff, so it's a lot better than it was.
It does look good.
What did you find out about the heaters?
We just need to decide on the door, if we would have to move it or not. And other than that, we're ready to go with it. So,
Okay.
whichever we go with there, we'll make that determination. But I talked to Sean, we're full of propane. All he has to do is turn it on at this point. Make sure there's no leaks inside, so.
Did you find somebody for the door?
We have bids, but if we have to advertise for it,
Yeah.
we'll have to wait on that.
Advertise.
And I hate to move anything in until we decide what we're gonna do, because I don't know how long it'll take to put a door in, and I'd hate to have stuff sitting in there, then it's open for a couple days. So,
Are you thinking the transportation van will be able to fit in there? Or we need to look at maybe doing a lean-to on
we
the
might have
side?
to look at some kind of carport or something, or some of my stuff can sit under it. it's pretty tight in there when you start putting stuff
Okay.
in. But I ought to have them bring it down and pull it in there and kind of see what it looks like, I guess. Sometime maybe I can do that today.
Okay.
Well, that was the whole idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we talked to them? Do they even know we're gonna be moving it?
Yeah,
Do they?
you talking about EMS? Yeah, I'd said it's gonna be a while, but we purchased that, to get that out of there. Part of the reason.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, bud. Have a good day, good weekend. Come on up, Dan. Hey. Freightliner.
So we found 2 trucks. Pretty much identical. And one's a little more miles. The reason we're looking at 2 trucks is because then Bird City could replace their green one too. So Dustin did go down and look at these trucks, and like you said, they look good, but you never know.
Right.
You know.
Mercedes-Benz engines scare me. Because once you hit 600,000 miles, they,
Once you hit what?
600,000.
You never hit
I was
that?
gonna say, that was a long tire.
The gentleman that just left, I told him, and yeah, he had to get a new motor.
I don't know if we'd see that in 20 years.
I don't think you'd see it in 100 years.
Maybe in my lifetime.
Other than that, yeah.
So you want to purchase both of them, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Bird City would get one and we would get one.
And you're gonna be able to put, will we be able to put the green tank on one of these?
That's our plan.
And what about the Bird City's gonna have a tank?
They're gonna move the green tank over and then we'll
Okay.
have that truck to,
And you've got it in your budget, if I remember right? You've got,
Yeah, there's-
quite a bit.
yeah, special fire has 556 in it, so.
Does the city pay part of this?
No, those
No?
are rural.
No, cause these are county.
Oh, okay, because they don't, they just fight with that, okay.
So I guess, and then there would be 1750 to have them delivered if they bring them out to us.
$1,750? I could fly 2 people out there for a lot less than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Where they at?
Flamingo.
yeah, they've got a nice little airport.
I'm not riding with him.
It wasn't that bad. We took off on a high wind warning, but it would be.
That's what I was thinking. It might be easier just to have them hauled out here.
I don't think, well, you're talking 140 an hour for plane rental is all it would be, so, and it'd take probably.
But
an hour and
that'd be
45
for
minutes.
both trucks.
Yeah, take 2
So-
people, drop you
yeah.
off, and they drive them back.
But that was a total. We were looking at 8,600 if we had them delivered.
86,000.
Or 1,000, sorry, yeah.
Well, let me know, because I need to, because there's a restricted MOA, we'd have to, you don't want to get shot down, so I need to make phone calls
Yeah,
ahead of time.
I don't know if we can get enough 2 guys rounded up that would
Fly with
go
me?
down there. But,
I don't fly like I drive.
so I guess the question will be is if we could go up to that 86 and then we could do from there whether we get them to go down or.
Kind of do work with them.
Yeah.
Have they been, so what we've done in the past, just to protect us, is we've hired a mechanic that's not affiliated with them to go look at all this stuff, look for blow-by, look for oil samples, transmission samples, rear end samples. This will save you money in the long run. I mean, huge amounts. And I've done this when I've bought stuff and I've backed out of it. And a lot of times it's anywhere from $500 to $1,500, but it sure beats getting something.
And they've had sampled all the oil and
Okay,
stuff, but
so
we don't
you're-
have the samples. They
Well,
were
I-
gonna send us this stuff.
Okay, well, if they've got the samples, that's one step in the right direction, but I would still, have somebody drive them, load test them and such, just to be safe.
Well, he said Dustin did, didn't he?
He went down there. He
did-
didn't,
did he
he didn't
drive
get
them?
a chance to drive them, but he
Okay.
looked them over, walked around them,
Well,
ran them.
I would still want to see it under a load just to be safe. That would be my advice. I'm not telling you have to do that, but that would be what I would do to protect myself a little bit. So, but I think they're good trucks.
Yeah. And then the other part of that would be we'd need a little extra to, cause he wants to delete the def and stuff.
Do you know what the delete code's gonna cost or whatever?
Who's gonna change the tanks over?
We will.
Fire department over?
Dustin, yeah.
He's pretty handy at everything.
Dennis thought he had people that could do it too.
What are you thinking for your delete? If you-
Well, with the lead parts equipment, we would just say if we get 10 to 15,000 extra, 10 to 15 extra, just to be able to do that stuff. Not that we'd spend it if we don't need to, but.
Well, you'd be lucky to get about 2,000 miles a year on one, wouldn't you?
No, yeah. I don't think we
Better
would.
hope we
No way.
don't.
Better hope we don't.
What were these trucks before, were they,
Well,
Well.
they were well trucks.
so their suspension this wheel broke in, I take it then?
I would guess.
What do you guys think?
I think we do it.
Well, I mean, we're down one truck, and with all the fuel we got out there for fires, we need to have everything.
No, we gotta be, you know,
I don't wanna be screwing around too long.
no, we need to do something now.
If we get a fire started, I don't know where we'd stop it.
Maybe discing. Are these gonna be a lot higher geared than the International was?
I don't know that.
Well, I was trying, the Allison, because I think the International had an Allison, didn't it?
No.
Transmission.
Yeah,
No, that was
It was an old 5-speed.
okay.
with a high-low range, right?
I would say if these are oil trucks, they'd run down the road
Pretty fast.
faster than we go. When you,
Well, yeah, and we considered governing them at 75, just so nobody wants to go too fast.
Oh, that's no fun.
The big tires go boom, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So we thought about like the other part of that money, that second money I was talking about, like sandblasting the frames and making
Oh.
sure they're all good, and if we need to plate them somewhere, plate them,
I have a sandblaster if you guys wanna use it, so.
all that stuff. So,
I think you guys did good. I think they're good trucks. My concern is the 600,000 miles and you're not gonna hit it, so I'm good. What about you guys?
I'm good with that.
I would love to see somebody load test them though before you get them, so, but you don't have to.
okay.
we're here when you're ready.
Okay. We need a
Make a
motion.
motion. I make a motion to purchase the two Freightliners for, how much was it?
86,000, not exceed that. That's
Not to exceed
with transport.
86,000.
And then he wants another 10 to 15,000 to delete the codes and sandblast frames, get them ready.
So that would be what,
And you would do, but 101,000 if it went to 86.
not to exceed 101,000?
Yeah, and that's the high of everything.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to purchase, or at least look at purchasing the Freightliner Business Class 2009's two trucks, and not to exceed 86,000 for the purchase, and then for deleting the codes or whatever, and, sorry, sandblasting the frame not to exceed 15,000. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. Good
That's
luck.
all I got.
All right.
I figured you guys want some sleepers on those.
I don't want to be out that long.
Thank you, Dan.
That's when you pack up and go home. Not the next day.
see you.
See you.
Have a good weekend. You can get Keith in since he's here. That'll be nice. Hi, Keith.
Morning, guys.
Keith, how are you?
How do you
Do we set?
Yes, sir.
Whatever you want to do.
stand?
Stay.
On our knees?
Guys, this is Bill Zoll, owner of the car wash,
Okay.
and
Bill, I'm
How do you do?
It's
Brent, Willie, and Roger, and
good.
Leslie, and Scott.
Zoll, you said?
How you doing?
Bill.
Z-A-H-L.
Z-A-H-L, okay.
Yep. Yep. We've been here, I think, about 37 years with that car wash. Wow. We purchased that way back, and what was there before me, and I never saw it, I guess a restaurant. There's a motel there. Right now, right now when you look that direction, you'll see a storage unit.
Right.
We took the roof off, raised it about 5 or 6 quarts a block, and used that cement for that storage unit. But that was a motel.
Wow.
And what I like, if you don't quite know what we're up to, do you? Mm-hmm. You do?
Yes.
Okay, good. Would you, unless you've already got it.
Thank you.
We got flaps.
You're fine.
You're aware, she's way ahead, she's loaded for
Okay,
bear.
good, all right, you're on it, okay. So, if you're to look at that, you go to the yellow right on that left side, Lorraine Street. That's that frontage road that it hooks onto, and it hooks onto Highway 36. And you turn there and you go north about less than a block, where that 20 is. And right to the west of you, across the street's Yost Ford. Right there where that 20 is that's look, that little narrow strip, that was transferred to the county. I suppose, I don't know why, but it's the width of an alley. So probably for utilities or whatever reasons way back. And tell them a little bit about when that was transferred and who
Well,
from.
we had, Amanda done a little research and found this deed where it was, the county actually bought that 20-foot strip from the Henderson family. It was Dale Henderson's grandparents.
Really?
They lived there. There's no sign of where they lived anymore, but they lived there north of this 20-foot strip, probably a couple 100 feet. There was a house there and they had little hog pens and whatnot. Anyway, the county bought that 20-foot strip from them for $100 in 1958.
Wow.
So the county owns that, and obviously there's our water line, our water meter is right there east, on the east side of Lorraine Street, on the north side of that alley, and our water line runs down all the way down that 20-foot strip till it comes out on Yost's property, and then heads cattywampus over to the car wash. So our goal is to repair and fix and replace whatever it takes to put in a new water line.
Okay.
And
Our water line's already in there. That
Yeah,
probably
just wanna
is the only.
make it better.
As far as we know, we'll have to get a check to make sure what all is in there, but I think that's probably the only thing in there. We're not sure where that 20 is at the end of that alley, I would call it, since it's an alley width, that you folks, the county owns. That, going down through there is like, what did we get, 572 feet or something is what that total distance, if you add the 395 and the 177. So that's 572 feet. Our line is there right now. We want to replace it. So So it isn't that we're wanting to add something new. But then when we get down there to the right end there, to the east, you'll see a catty corner line with a 328 on it. That's where we're gonna go. We've talked to Yost. Right now, the line is more like, if you look there on the right side, you see the 231 feet. You can just barely even see that storage unit there. Our property is not even on the page, it's down there by the 231 to the right. But right now, the line is more like clear over to the frontage road by the highway on that little corner there, that catty corner. We're gonna cut across there, it'll be a little less on Yost that way, and then we'll hit our own and go along there. So, and we've had somewhere about in the middle of that pasture Yost there, a few years ago, I think he thought he had a flowing well, because all of a sudden water started coming out. So we know, and we went in and fixed it, but we know some of it, probably most everything from the meter over there by Lorraine Street, maybe that's all steel, old. And we've had some other breaks in the last couple of years, or the last 6 months.
One over close to the service road broke, and
Then
it was metal. And then when the fiber optic guys were digging, they found PVC. So at some point it turns to PVC, but then our only other problem, which we're on top of, is you'll see a little bit of stuff there on the east end. That's Doug Austin, I'm sure, parked stuff there.
Thinking it was his ground.
Yeah, having no clue that
Right.
that was, and how would he know? I mean, he hit town in the 80s, I think, and this all happened before he was ever around. So he, unbeknownst to him, he was parking stuff on county property. So thanks to Les and some other people, we're on top of getting that moved away. And so once we get that moved off of county property, then we can make sure our digger's ready to dig the line and put it in. So
Yeah, we'll get our
Good
dig.
deal.
I guess what we're asking for is your blessing.
I don't have a problem with it, you guys?
I do.
What's that?
I wanted to have my free car wash for a while.
Don't put that in the minutes, that might be a problem.
I didn't,
No, I don't have any trouble with
We're trying to make
There's
considerable
not any
improvements so we
fences
can
or
charge
anything.
more.
gotcha.
it. There's not any fences in
No, there's a fence runs along the north side. and
the
that's-
north side of it.
Yeah, so it's 20 foot over from the fence is this public
To the
property, so,
So most of those people along there don't even know that.
no, it's, I think at some point, the commissioners or somebody must have had foresight, thinking maybe there'd be a row of houses built along there, and they just as well create an alley.
Yeah,
And
you
who
never know.
knows, that still may happen, but if it does, the alley's there, so, it'd be a good place to put utilities and, so anyway, it's just a matter of,
So you got about 1,100 foot according to your figures or water.
it's,
A little more even.
Yeah,
It's,
it'll be nice to get it done right.
I don't know, 15, well, I'll tell you what it is. No, it is, 1131. You're right.
Well, I'm just looking at your figures there. You
Yeah,
wrote down.
yeah, and then just a little more, we gotta go east to get into the wash, but that's on our ground. We've got, and if you guys have noticed, they've been burying fiber optics and stuff out over the last year, and so we got, our digger hotline stuff's got pretty important to make sure, and that isn't our job. We'll mark it, but the digger, I talked to him, and he contacts the hotline because
Right.
that's how he keeps his insurance bearable. He
Yeah.
can prove he did the things he needed to
Yep.
do. So, okay, well, I appreciate your
811.
time.
Yeah. It was nice meeting you guys.
Yep.
I know you, so.
You were talking to me, nice meeting me.
Yeah,
We all wonder about Keith.
well, don't Good.
But he's worked with me for
Thank you.
22 years.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Goodbye. Thanks.
We'll try to cover it up and make it look like we've never been there.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, if you
bet.
just bring some of them bricks down, I'll cut them in.
Okay,
advance.
yep.
Yeah, we got the bricks here, so
Okay.
we got a little private deal going with Willie, or a little under the table deal.
Hey, guys, this stuff's recorded.
Welcome to my world.
You can watch it on YouTube.
Free
and-
car
and-
washes, bricks.
All right,
Another set of free car washes.
thanks for your
See
time,
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you make a motion on that?
We don't have to. It's just an informational.
Okay.
I thought since it is county property, I thought it'd be nice if they came in and explained what was going on, so that if anyone was wondering,
Did you get your paper
where it
back?
is.
Maybe we got it against Bill then.
I'm gonna top off my coffee. We got two more? Oh, we got Dawn. We gotta try Steve.
Come on in.
All right, Steve.
How's everybody doing?
Decent. You?
All right, good. Just had a few items. I'm gonna start off with just a quick recycling update. As you probably know, we got a load of the cardboard
Good.
hauled out. I believe that was last week. And we did hear back, well, I'll back up. I think the last one we visited, at the last meeting, we had not really heard any correspondence from Pamela Pachenko, who, she's the owner of the ABC Recycling in North Platte. She called that noon, Friday, after the meeting, and kind of gave me a little more detail on what she was looking at. And there's a correction on the hauling of the cardboard down to Oklahoma. We get all of that. It's 55 a ton, and we will receive that. There's no shipping on that. And in exchange, that's what she was wanting us to have, either whoever combs, haul the other material up, the paper, the plastic, whatever stockpiled there in the building. And then, so we would have to cover the cost of that, but it would be offset by what's
Made from
going
the
to
cardboard.
Oklahoma. And right now, we have one other load that's probably close to being full and ready, and that was all. And she also said that down there in Oklahoma, it's a little different than some of the other places on what they want to take and how they use the cardboard. So basically, we had to send a load down there really to find out if it was even gonna work. Cause they may have said, no, this isn't,
Did they
good
like
enough,
it?
or we don't like it, but everything went well. She didn't hear anything negative back, so we could go ahead and get the other load going. We'll have to coordinate with Dan and the city, of course. They've been doing the bulk of the work on that, but we're trying to help out where we can.
Have you had a chance to talk to Frank?
No, not since I think the day before we were loading, we were in touch with them. And we did have a number of bales over there, unfortunately, that were set outside and they're sun faded. And I did send pictures of those to Pamela, and she was glad that I had done that, because she said Oklahoma probably rejected those sun faded bales. So those are gonna have to go to North Platte, because they won't take them in Oklahoma. She uses them different up where she's at, so. And then she was also hoping, and this is something that's gonna have to be addressed, I mean, with the city, but she was hoping that we would go in on all the way on the program and just continue the recycling. So, and if we were to get to that point, they would continue to have a truck come through when we get a load of the cardboard, send it to Oklahoma, and we would get paid for that, no shipping, and then in turn, we would keep hauling up our paper or plastic, whatever we're gonna handle in the recycling center. But this all needs to be worked out with the city and the county.
Does the
I would
city-
think we can help to a
Is the city
degree.
gonna use their trucks, or are we gonna use our trucks? And what do you think it's gonna cost? I mean, on the offsetting, I guess, if it's $55 a ton, they can haul, what, 20 tons down to Oklahoma?
42 tons.
42, okay. That'll cover a lot of hauling, so.
Right, and I think it just, currently, or to get rid of the stockpile that's up there, I think we need to go with cones. And, because there's a lot of material up there that's gonna have to go, and then later on, if we were to continue this, possibly look at, I think Dan maybe mentioned the possibility of trying to get a gooseneck trailer. Cause then you're able to haul smaller loads, you're not gonna have a big stockpile and then just make periodic runs, up to North Platte. And we would get paid for some of that, like the aluminum, but it's probably not gonna be, you know, it will help offset the cost of trucking it up there, but.
Well, it's phenomenal to be able to do.
So
what we're-
it's making some progress, and again, I'll have to work with Dan, and then we wanna help them out as much as we can, so. And visit with Frank too.
Okay.
So, but that's the update on recycling. Cody, came to me yesterday, and I guess I've known that we were in line to get their Dodge. And that should be happening here pretty soon, and, it's just a matter of if we wanna do a fund transfer, he's okay with just, you know, not having to do that, since it's already been paid for by taxpayer money, as he's put it. So that would be kinda up to you guys if we wanna do, you know, a fund transfer, whatever it might be, 2,000, I think he threw out 2,500 on that pickup. And we could take it out of our capital outlay, from Road and Bridge if we wanted to move some money on that.
How's your road and bridge looking? Because I know we're gonna have to do something on transfer from solid waste to cover the crushing costs. Because there's like, I think 37,000 left in there. $37,122.80 is what, no, that's a different number. Anyway,
Yeah, I haven't run any figures on for
So
solid
we're-
waste and the concrete.
I'm just
crushing.
concerned, 2,500 is not gonna hurt anything, but I think we need to really take a look at the budget before we spend any more money at all, just because, but the money that's gonna make money, so it's gonna pay itself back, so that's a good thing. But we need to look at all the budgets and see where we're at on that.
Okay.
So, let me see. I think the number, $37,122.80 is what it looks like. And I think it was proposed at 75,000 to crush the concrete.
Right.
So, we just need to.
That's the solid waste contract.
But what I don't think is taken out is the trust payment isn't taken out of this
Correct.
yet. So that's gonna do that, and then there's a 26,000 equipment. No, I don't know, it comes out to 37,000, so we're gonna need to,
We need to come up with $37,000.
pretty much.
Saying,
So
yeah.
I'm just a little concerned, I want you to really take a look at all the budgets and see where we're at, and of course, you've known that I've been real concerned about some of the other spending, which we won't talk about now, but you know where I'm at. So, anyway, let's just take a look at all that and see where we're at, but that 2,500 for that pickup is a steal. So,
Okay.
anyway,
All right, and he did have another one, he apparently got two new ones that came in, and I'm not sure I wanna go this route. It's their 2016 F-150, and they had to drop a new motor in it here recently, and so, and that came out of, the drug fund. So it's a different funding source, so we would need to at least pay them 10,000 for that pickup.
right, to cover the engine, because I think
So
the
I'm-
engine was 10,000, wasn't it?
Right, yeah. And I'm
10 or 11.
Yeah.
a little cold on that, cause there's other items I think we need, maybe more, and not the best time to bring it up
Well,
after
it
talking the budget, but,
It-
a tanker trailer, has,
And the way I understand our tanker trailer kind of lists to the side really bad.
Can I stop you guys? Can
Yeah.
we do a motion on the pickup?
Yes.
sorry.
$25, 2,500.
So you don't want to do anything on the 16, but on the, what was the year on
I'd-
the Dodge?
You know, I
Okay.
no, I cannot remember, and I left it blank here, I was hoping to get with Cody, but I don't have
Okay,
that.
well, we'll need a motion on that, not to exceed 2,500.
I move that we purchase the Dodge from the sheriff's.
Fund
Do it.
transfer.
Fund
Do a
transfer,
fund
yeah.
transfer.
Yes.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to do a fund transfer for $2,500 for the purchase of the Dodge pickup for the road and bridge. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, okay.
Move that over.
Sorry.
No, we gotta stay that.
Yeah. Oops, I think I had that. I haven't had any luck with the auctions and the tanker trailer replacement, they've all been going for well north of $10,000.
I believe that.
And I just, when I was looking around, trying to find other options, I did check in with the Rays down in Sawyer, Kansas, where we got our lowboy. And he does have
Oh, shucks, I didn't know my radio was
a
on.
2012 Western Construction Components. It's an old vacuum trailer, it looks like, steel tank. They're leak testing as I speak, and they had it over half full. It hasn't leaked.
Good.
I just ran one copy there. He's asking 17.9, and I said if he would take 16 for it, he said he would. So it
Would we be
be,
able to sell our old one?
could we?
Yeah, or at least for steel price.
Right, that's what we would do, I think, because that would be hard to, I'm sure I didn't ask Craig down there if he would be interested in our old trailer. I'm
Because I
sure he
think,
wouldn't.
I think the old trailer is getting to the point of where it's actually hazardous.
It is.
So,
We already have a tractor to pull this?
We'll have the truck, yeah, truck, yeah.
Say 17.
17.9.
Well,
And he's
and-
gonna offer him 16,
Yeah,
sorry.
and he agreed to take 16 if we were to proceed with it.
And where's that trailer at? I didn't see that.
It's in Sawyer, Kansas, same place we got the lowboy.
Okay, I'm not. I think we need the water trailer. I don't know. I need you to look, I'd really like to have you look at your budget and see what we're gonna do. Make sure everything's okay on that. So I know we've got surplus of this right here, but I'm just afraid if we go too low on, anyway.
But we do have, should be appropriate to take that out of the special road improvement fund, because that's what that equipment's used
I
for.
would think it would be. We need to look at everything, but I agree with you there.
Okay.
What do you guys think? Are the tires
What
on
has
it
this
pretty
been
good?
used for before? Like-
Good question, I can't tell you that right now. I could visit with Craig on that.
The tires good? I mean,
They look like it, I went through on the computer and,
Okay.
you know, had little better pictures than what's on there.
just
to
make
see
sure they're
the-
not recaps. This-
So we gotta go pick it up?
We'd have to go pick it up, yeah. I think Keith would know the way, he was down there last time. So, I think he already agreed to do it if it comes to that.
We'll need a motion on that, guys, if that's the case.
I move we purchase that water tank for, what'd you say, 16? 16,000.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to purchase the 2012 Western Construction Component 40x102 water trailer not to exceed 16,000. Everybody signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay.
And then one last thing, I don't have all the details for this, but I've been watching for motor grader replacements for 106, and Foley does have a used one. It's a 2015 12M3 all-wheel drive. It's got I wish I wrote down the hours on that. It's got 2,250 hours on it.
Does their warranty go to 3,000 hours? or is
It's,
it out at-
it's usually, I think it's either 6,000 or 7,000 hours or 6 or 7 years, whichever comes first. So it would be out of warranty, so that's kind of a negative on that. It's listed for 242,900.
Weren't they underpowered? Didn't we have troubles with the 12Ms?
I think the 12Ms are comparable with the 140s. It's 179 horse, it's just slightly less than the 140s, I think,
Okay.
which would be up around 190 to 200.
When you said it had 2,000, how many hours?
2,250. And they did come and do an assessment on our Unit 106 to see what the trade value would be, but we won't have that information until next week. And I'm not seeking approval, or I just kind of wanted to let you know that
What you're looking
it's
at.
an option. And there's one other thing I'm waiting to hear back from, well, too. I want to be in it came from a township, I think out of Marion. I'd like to visit with them. So it's a county grader. It's been serviced at Foley, it's, fully serviced, and we got all the records. But that does indicate a transmission leak on the when they do the inspection, here's the unit right there.
Didn't we just get rid of a tractor because it had a transmission leak?
Right. One of the John Deere, older one, John Deere. Got one other copy here. Look at that. Oh,
Strange they're trading off a grader with 2,000 hours.
well, they run them until the warranty runs out, and then they move on to a new one.
What's the
That
cost
is-
of an extended warranty to protect us? if
We looked into that,
do
I didn't pull that up, but it's quite a bit of money. It's, I think, into the 20,000s.
Because
for
if
Like a
we,
3-year warranty.
if we'd be looking at something where we could have one of ours refurbished and we have a pretty good.
Right, that's
that
the
would be
advantage of
smarter
that.
move.
You have a full warranty, well, what they do on the the rebuild, you would have a full warranty, like on the last one. Like the motor and powertrain and electrical and, but like hydraulics, we didn't have that done, so there's no warranty on the hydraulics, but.
So are we lacking on our road graders then? Because we just.
Oh, we've
bought
got
a
two
new-
that are at 12,000, one's almost 13,000 hours, but we're looking at it as a better unit right now. 106 is gonna need the stack O-rings on the controls, probably redone here pretty soon. The O-rings, and then there's been an oil pressure light that comes on occasionally, and that's a little bit of a concern.
What do you guys think? Pursue it and let us know.
Yeah, well, you're gonna call them and check what they'd give you for your other one and all.
Right, he'll have a figure on that, and
We
then
don't have to
hopefully
make a
information
decision
on the
on this one
lead.
this week then.
Pardon?
We don't have to make a decision on
No,
this
no,
one.
absolutely not. I don't really want to. it's,
Can I take this?
yeah.
My concern is if it had a transmission leak and it was run low, we're gonna deal with a lot of troubles down the way.
And no
I would-
warranty.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole without an extended warranty.
Yep.
So I think if we're gonna compare apples to apples, if they would give us, say they give us 142,000, so our difference would be $100,900, we need to look into purchasing the extended warranty, because that's gonna be, that's, would be my advice.
Yeah, and the trade value, I'm guessing it's not gonna be anything over 70.
Or how about rebuilding the one you have?
That would run, the last I heard from
190,000.
Polifka, it would, last one was 190, and if we did it today, if we did the similar rebuild, it would probably be around the 220 to 230,000.
Worst of that rebuild is we're without a grader for a long time.
Well, that one kinda didn't go
Yeah.
as planned, but yeah, it's still months you're out.
But I guess I'm a little bothered here. This is a 7-year-old machine they put on 300 hours a year. I mean, that don't take anything to put 300 hours on a grader.
No.
What do we put on our graders?
Well, this year a lot.
Yeah, well, but I mean, a lot.
Normally 800 hours
Yeah,
on
one
a,
township owned that grader.
But how many others did they have?
Right, I
Marion
mean,
counties, I
you
think what
don't
they
know.
said.
and that's where I'd like to visit with. who
And
had
maybe
it.
it's a good grader.
Last.
Maybe that township just has money and like you said, they trade every time they need warranty. But if
Still,
we
I
could
wouldn't
get-
touch it without an extended warranty, so.
That's,
my
I
2 cents.
share that concern too, but no warranty on that. It's a lot of money and then have something go wrong with it. Then it becomes a very expensive grader. And they have other ones listed on their site that are a little newer, like a 19, I think it's a 140 M3 all-wheel drive, and I think it's listed for like 281,000, so you get a little bit of a warranty, but you're paying, an additional $40,000. And the hours on it are higher too. I think they were like 4,600 hours on that.